Hello, guys, and welcome to my second broadcast. Hope you enjoyed Laravel Spark last time. This time we're experiencing Statamic version 2 CMS. So let's get one thing straight first. This broadcast or video is not meant to be a tutorial. Like, I'm not experienced with Statamic at all. I first installed it like 7 days ago. And basically, what I'm going to show you is meant for you to see what kind of features the CMS has so that you are able to decide if this is the right tool for your next project or any project at all. So before we dive into Statamic CMS features, let us first let's first be clear on what static website generators are. What's a static website concept? If that's new to you, that would be strange, because if you look at staticgen.com, basically you'll see that there are 200 plus different open source static website generators out there. I wonder if Statamic is listed here. No, because it's not open sourced. But these are there's a bunch. For instance, the Jackal static site generator is used to power the cms-podcast.com, and the only reason why I installed Jackal is, basically because I wanted to experience the static website generating software. And since, I'm not really sure if Jackal is like the first and like the original static website generator that everyone got inspired by, but, it's mostly widely used, so basically I use that. Static websites don't use database, so no database, meaning that configurations are saved in YAML files, and basically, data is stored in MD files. Hold on, I'm gonna switch over to my screen so that you can see the staticgen.com website I was referring to a minute ago. And before the deployment of the website, static website generator generally renders all the pages as plain HTML files. So when the site is served, there's no dynamic generation of website content. It only serves static HTML. So there's nothing between you and the file on the server except the web server like Apache or Nginx. So it's ultimately really, really fast, like the fastest website serving solution possible. So the concept behind the Statamic or Statamic, nobody's quite sure how to pronounce it, though I think that Jack, the CMS author, explained once that it's pronounced Statamic because Statamic means static dynamic. So basically it's a hybrid concept where most of the content is, I believe, served as static, but it kind of gets transformed by PHP in some way. So it's not entirely static. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Statamic. Ta-da. So, okay. The guys at the Wilderborn built Statamic. Here's Jack and two other guys. Jack is like really awesome guy in terms of being great developer and a great designer, which is rare. If you tried it, the chances are you sucked. I tried it. I play guitar. I kind of consider myself like an artistic person, but when it comes to design, it's just not that. There are musicians that definitely can write a song, but it'll never be a hit. So I can design a website, and it'll probably look fine, but it wouldn't be great. So I think that a combination of a designer, like great designer and great developer, is really rare, and Jack is one of those guys. So way to go, Jack. As an information, Jack is involved in Laravel community since the beginning, I think, because they, like Wilderborn or Jack, designed most of Laravel websites, except for the Spark, I think, and Laravel Spark was designed by a guy called Steve Sugar. I wonder if he's as good as programmer as Jack, but his design is nice. So back to subject. Wilderborn built version 1 in 2012. So lots of time for them to improve and mature the CMS concept they came up with. And right now we're at version 2, which, by the way, is not free. So it costs you $1.99 to deploy the website built on Statamic to CMS system. Lots of developers don't like to pay for software, right? Who wants to pay if it's not like obligatory? But if you look at the concept of paying $199 per website that you build for a client, basically, then it's sort of the same situation as where a designer designs a website for a client, and he goes to iStock Photo to buy some photos that are not cheap, that are like $50 each. And then he builds awesome web design like for a client, and he basically in the end he invoice like I don't know how much money for the design, and say $300 for the images. So the same thing here. This CMS will definitely get you up and running faster than vanilla PHP solution or a situation where you're supposed to build the entire backend, and once you're done developing the project, just charge $199 to your client, and that's it. And of course, client gets the benefit of fast website deployment and nice and clean admin panel UI, and developer gets to enjoy Statamic humor, which is, great. All right. So let's move on to installation. So if you want to test it, like free trial, you need to sign up to try Statamic, and you'll basically get your Statamic account. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to leave your credit card data or anything. So basically, you're just gonna be able to click here this blue button to download the zip file, and you're good to go. So I already unzipped the file. I put that directory in my sites folder that's being served by Laravel Homestead. So let's check out the documentation. Documentation. Right. The trail guide section is pretty neat. I hope that you noticed by now that the theme of the Statamic website and CMS and everything is kind of nature, forest, wilderness stuff, and that's really great. It can be a bit confusing, but it's fun, so I don't mind. Getting started with Statamic section should get you up and running in no time. It explains licensing and requirements. So if Statamic version 2 is built on Laravel, so all requirements that you need to have to meet the minimum for Laravel installation are required here as well. So if you have the latest version of Homestead, it shouldn't be a problem for you to install everything. Of course, it runs on various environments, but Homestead is by far the best. Let's see. There's a command line utility that you get once you install. So let's see. Right. So let's vagrant. This is age. And I'm going to show you what this is about. So we're in code and Statamic and PHP. Please. I'm not going to do serve because serve would serve me with this server. That's one option, but I just wanted to show you how cool this PHP please CLI utility is. So I tweeted a couple of days ago this PHP please joke, and it gets you a joke, and it brightens your day, and it's a quick way to get your spirit up, better than going over to Facebook and browse baby and cat images. So let's go back to the installation documentation. So after unzipping the files, basically let's check out the site structure. Right. So most of the websites that are built on Laravel are an addition to Laravel's kind of file and folder layout, where Statamic went kind of the opposite direction. So you have four main folders where assets contains all your imagery, media and stuff. Local is mainly for caching. You don't want to touch that. Site is where you do all your development and where, there's no mention of Laravel, though like templates are here, themes, but all the Laravel goodness is stored within Statamic folder, which is considered like a vendor folder. Basically, you don't touch this because when you update to a new version of Statamic, this will get overridden. By the way, there's a chat on the right hand side, so if anyone has a question or likes to say hi, please do so. Right, so that being said, I'm not really sure, and that's like one of my questions. If I was to use Statamic for development, how would I use, I don't know, some PHP package like Laravel package? How would I install it, and how would I use that in my project? I guess we'll see. And as another note, when I was preparing this broadcast, I quickly realized that one show, one broadcast will not be sufficient to cover all the interesting aspects of the CMS. So basically, we're going to do part 2 next week or real soon. So let's get back to the installation process. Let's quickly run down the getting started document and not waste too much time on this. So basically, you set permissions, you apply permissions, and then you go and configure URL rewrites, which Statamic. Which, by the way, is a bit weird for me. There's a rewrite URL variable here, which presumably when I set to true, all links should be like SEO friendly, but they're not, and they eventually become at some point. But if I remove index.php, it basically works. So that means that it's fine, but I must be missing something. Still have index.php. Maybe when I finish the installation process, it'll be better. Let's see. So after you're done with all the steps mentioned above here, then you basically go to the installer script, which is not there, but here. It tells you if you meet all the requirements, and like this is not a problem. These are just recommendations. We can live without it. So it continue in trial mode. It does its thing. You can configure locales. I wonder how that's pronounced in English. You can set the debug mode. I'm gonna set that right away, and create a user. So let's create one. Okay. And let's just store this password somewhere. Okay. And we're in. This is a dashboard of Statamic CMS. Yeah, works. And right now, Yeah, it works without index.php. Let's see what happened in front end. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're good. We're SEO friendly. Google loves us. Okay. So when you've installed your Statamic installation, you have it running in your local dev environment, then you're presented with the Redwood theme. So the Redwood theme is a really nice design theme that you can actually use for your blog. But it also tells a story. So it's kind of a story about this feller, Niles Peppertrout, who's like a park ranger, and it tells a story about his exciting job, stuff like that. So the theme is basically responsive to a degree, I believe, because when you shrink it too much, it becomes a bit weird. But basically, you have like your website sections, which I'm gonna walk you through so that you can follow easily when we dive into the admin panel functionality. So basically, on homepage you have like your blog post listings. Nothing much more about me. Has like this feller's picture, fun facts. Blog contains all the blog posts. When you enter one, you have like the author, the date, tags. You can click a tag to go to like blog/tag/coffee, and you'll be able to see all posts that are tagged with that tag. See? And you have your gallery where you can upload some pictures. No fancy viewer here. Things is a demonstration of a collection so that you're aware of sort of what's also able to be built using the CMS. So this kind of takes you to the Amazon store if you want to purchase any of these little thingies, and then you have like your contact page where you can send email to an author. You have users page, which is kind of neat. You can easily use this theme to create user sections if you'd like. And there's just a general logout. The search doesn't work by default. We'll get to the explanation how to populate the search index. Like that's also real easy, but that's a Redwood front end theme. So once you have the theme, like you're using the theme to get to know the features of the Statamic, but you're like experienced Statamic developer, you don't want your theme anymore. So every time you start a new project, you're bothered with the theme files and you have to manually erase everything. So that's not good. So luckily, there's an easy way to get rid of the theme entirely. So there was a blog post recently. Hold on, how to get to blog posts. All right. Start faster with the clear site command. So Yeah, basically, not to read through this again, what you want to do is use the CLI please utility, and you basically do this. Clear site, start a fresh site, wiping away all content. So let's first make a copy of the entire document. I mean, the entire folder, so that we can switch back easily once we clear the website. So I'm just going to show you this, and then we'll go back to a themed website. So you do please clear site, and then it asks you, do you want to clear content? Yep. Storage? Sure. Settings? Of course. Themes? You bet. Users? Why not? Site cleared. So let's see. Statamic site. So where we had a theme, now there's empty directory. There are no users, nothing. So basically, what can you do now? You have to start over. So this CLI utility is your friend. So if you want to create a new user, you basically go and tell it, like, please make me a user, and then it asks you for a username and a password and email address, etc. So basically it creates a user for you, not to go through the entire process here in this users folder. We'll get to that a bit later. And if you want to start with a fresh theme, you go and issue a command, php please make theme. And yeah, I'm missing a title. So let's say it's a cms-podcast theme. And it's ready and waiting for me at my themes folder. So everything is here, including SAS and the gulp file, which is totally awesome. And that's it. So pretty easy for you to start using Statamic out of the box. So let's delete this and return to just a second. So let's refresh this. Okay. Yep, we're back. And that's about start faster feature. And let's move on to the next subject, which is hold on, guys, content types. So by getting back to the guides, you go to content types, and that will inform you about 6 different content types that Statamic has. So I'm kind of getting a feeling that I forgot to mention something really important about the theme before, but if it comes to my mind, I'll get back to that. But content types. Basically, it all revolves around customizable custom fields, which are basically available in all 6 content types, as well as universally unique IDs. So each content gets its unique ID, and you can manipulate custom fields, which I believe is a term well known to you. Like CMS systems, like most CMS systems, have custom fields. I'm not sure if WordPress first started to use the exact expression custom fields, but that's what it is. So the differences are, well, okay, let's roll them out one by one. So pages is the first content type that we're gonna demo. So you can consider like that pages are your site menu builder, so to speak. So whatever you define here, you can use to render your menu list about here. So you see that there's home, about me, my magical blog venture. So that's it. And each of them is editable. So those MD files, because remember, static website generators store data in MD files, which are markdown files. So if we go back into the site content, pages, you'll see that there are these 6 website segments rendered out here. So basically, you're able to manipulate the order in which they are displayed above here in 2 ways. One, if you're board, you can change like numbering here, and that's like one way. But if you want to save your time, you just drag and drop items here in the pages admin panel section, and basically it rearranges the folder numbers here. So let's get it back to what it was. See, yeah, I guess that's it. When you enter the folder, you'll see that there is an indexed MD file, which you can edit using your favorite MD file editor. And there's this, I think it's called front-end matter, which is basically YAML markup about here that you want to add it to customize your page layout. So basically, let's open up this in Sublime. It's a bit nicer. So content, pages, index. Oops, nope. Hold on. What am I viewing? Oh, dude. Yeah, I thought so. It displayed the trash folder because it moved my bash to the trash. Bash to the trash. All right, see these sites and see this Statamic, and let's do Sublime and site. And you guys don't have any questions? Nope. Pages are somewhere here. So about, and okay, there we are. You define your variables right here. So we'll get to variables a bit later. Well, it might be really good idea if I switch to the templating concepts right now so that you can understand how these variables are used. So back to the documentation, you have 2 sections on templating. There's a template language and theming, like guide for you. Let's explore the template language. The language is pretty much similar to a Laravel blade. As a matter of fact, you can use blade or you can use antlers, which is the name of a custom templating language built by Statamic team. So it basically allows you to use tags. Tag is actually a variable, and I'm not going to go in too many details here about how to create a template from scratch because I don't have enough time. But basically, it's pretty simple. If you've done any templating in any major PHP framework or even not PHP, it's pretty much all the same. So this is basically the concept. If you have a variable that's temperature 110, sincerity level love, and then you have all those like variables in your template, the output would be rendered like this. So you have your arrays, and an easy way to loop those arrays, lists, which are single dimensional arrays. You have variable modifiers, which are really nice, which is really nice feature of Statamic framework, because there are like 130 really useful modifiers, which I'm going to show you what they do in a second. So basically, it allows you to, if you have like a pigeons array, you want to sort. I'm not sure what sort does, but if you limit to 2, then the loop will exit after 2 results were displayed. So that's basically it. You have your filters, and I'm not sure what these are, parameters, but it's really rich templating language that will allow you to do mostly anything you'd like. So let's check out the Redwood theme in themes folder to see how the layout, the theme is structured. This is your main file, and basically you have like defined sections that are loaded, and once the site content is generated. So you have your title set here. So let's quickly demo how this works. Basically, you have home/Redwood here. So this here is, I believe it's called a modifier or not. Hold on a second. Let's use the correct terminology. So that's a modifier. Yeah. And when you apply that, it's pretty much the same if you've done this or this. So you can see how these modifiers are used and how templates are how the tags in template is getting replaced by variables. So the variable itself, like site name, is there's a sort of bubbling here. So the CMS inspects the context of the website. layer by layer, searching for a definition of the variable. So if it doesn't find one, then it just, renders nothing. It sets it to I believe, void or false, I'm not sure. But right now, the site name is defined somewhere in globals, yeah. So if you want to change your site name, it's not here, I think. It's here. Yeah, it's in the site content globals, site content globals, global, yeah, that's the file. So if you want to change your website title, you do it either here or say we're editing about me page and I don't want the site title to be like this or here. And then I'll go to my pages section and about index, and I'm gonna override that. And I'm gonna just call it, a different me, and there you go, overridden. So that's the whole concept of variables within the Statamic CMS system. Pretty easy and pretty useful. So let's get back to the templating language. Let's see what else is interesting. Yeah, regarding the themes, and by the way, I think that this is what I wanted to show you a bit earlier, though it wasn't meant to be shown then. It's meant to be shown now because that's a cool Elixir feature that's built in and provided to you out of the box with Statamic CMS. So each theme, this theme, I'm not sure if there are any other themes right now for the version 2, but it has its gulp file. And if you try, hold on, let's get into the theme folder. So that's inside themes, Redwood. So let's see this site theme, red. Yeah, Redwood. Cool. So if I try to run gulp right now, it cannot find Laravel Elixir, yeah. So I need to do, because you have like your package JSON here that also, that's like sort of a config file, like you have one for your PHP Composer. This is for Node packages. So if I do npm install, I think it's going to take ages to install Elixir here. Oh, all right. Let's let it run and get back to it a bit later. And I'm going to show you this. Just make sure it runs. Yeah, it does. Like the remaining content type, yeah, let's check out the time. So it's 3:45. I think I'm gonna go on for another 15 minutes or so. Let's get back to content types. We're just gonna quickly cover the way that the collections behave in contrast to the pages. So if you want to access pages, they're like hidden behind their static URLs. But collections are actually blog posts that have a dynamic URL structure. So if we go into the admin panel, back to the admin panel, let's check out the configure section for collections. So here is where you would create new collections or edit existing ones. So let's see what's behind these blog collections. So it basically has its title and it has a route definition. So pretty easy, no need to explain anything here. But it also features blog post field set. So if we go to field sets, this is the place where you build your field sets using custom fields. So let's see what's behind this blog post field set. My Mac is cooking. Not ready yet. Hopefully this does not interfere with the transmission. So the blog post field set is hidden. We'll probably mention this a bit later if I don't forget, but it's not that important right now. But it has all these custom fields defined. So what does that mean? If we go to collections, like in the content section, and we go to blog and we enter any blog post content, then you'll see what this really is. So it has like title, subtitle, intro image, hero image. So these are your parallels here. You have your titles, subtitles, slug, date and time, which are defined to be like content, like custom field types for each content type. Yeah, that's the terminology. And you have like your images and tags where you can select which tags this blog post belongs to. You have your, I think this is a markdown editor, yeah. And you're basically ready to publish your blog post here. What if you'd like to have another custom field here? So it's pretty easy. You just select it. Perhaps you want to add a time when this post was created at. So I'll just name it time or creation time so that it's a bit more clear, and we want to have it like, I don't know, full width of the screen, and I can provide instructions here for future administrators, but I don't want to right now. And when I click save and I refresh this panel here, like the creation time is ready for me. So I'm just gonna type in 12:30 and I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna show you what happened with the blog content type. I mean the blog MD file over here. So we were editing far looking forward to hearing from and right here we have our variable defined. So this is the creation time that I defined like a minute ago. You can edit it here, of course. So I can set it to 12:45, and when I go back here, it reads from that file, and it's basically all the same. So I think that's like a complete loop that explains to you how the CMS interacts with the file system. Next, yeah, let's check out our gulp friend here. Seems like that's done. gulp. If you're not using Laravel Elixir, by the way, you're missing out. It's pretty cool tool. Saves a lot of time. Okay, what I wanted to show you here is how easily it is to edit the theme itself. So the theme ships with SAS files. So let's just edit, let's quickly edit one of the core files. Okay, so we'll be editing the font color here. So let's switch it over to something that's, I don't know, a bit brighter. So right now we just need to run gulp and it'll recompile the CSS and JavaScript if you've done anything with it. I mean, when you refresh, it's applied. So it's that easy to use Elixir to manage your CSS and JavaScript and to work with your theme. Boy, this time flies fast. 3:52, 8 minutes until the end of this transmission. So let's see what can we do in 8 minutes. Let's jump through the remaining content type definitions here. So we have like globals. Globals are pretty much self-explanatory. These variables are accessible for you. I mean, you can access these variables anywhere in the system. So basically, if you want to decide, like we've already seen, the site name was defined as a global. So that's it. Assets are a way for you to upload or manage your files. Perhaps we can check out assets and then return to users some other time. So the assets control panel is as straightforward as it can be. So it has like your folders and it has like your files inside, and you can click on a file somewhere to see a detailed info with a super cool feature here. So a focal point feature is basically a way for you to tell Statamic CMS how to crop the image if you're if you're going to use it in let's say mobile layout or something like that. So we want to be sure to display like these big guys' heads, not their bellies. So you get instant preview here, which is awesome. And then these coordinates are saved with the config file for this image. So uploading is super easy. I'm just going to upload a couple of sample photos. Multiple file upload works great. My files appeared somewhere here. Come on. Yeah. And you can also upload like PDF files. I'm going to create a PDF files folder. And I'm going to upload some PDFs there, it changes I wonder why it used zip icon when it's not a zip file. Yeah, or perhaps it is. Yeah, it is a zip file. Oh man. But if you want to delete assets. That's also super easy, really nice interface. By the way, the admin panel is responsive, so you can view it on your mobile, and it'll work fine most of the time. And that's the part on assets from the admin panel perspective. So not much to say here. But how do you use these files inside the inside MD files or anywhere else? So basically, you just use your MD as you would to link to a file. That's one way to do it. But let's check out the theme with, let's see, there's a partial. Oh, dude, where is the about? I'm not seeing it. Let's see, about. Yeah, here it is. All right, the about page. Fun facts. Content. No. And that's located where? Content. Yeah. Contact. Why don't I go to a website to see which page had an image somewhere? This one did, but where is it generated at? Content. That's in the pages, about, and yeah, this one is also referenced as MD here. Not a good example. I want to show you what I wanted to show you is the glide functionality. That's like the coolest plugin. Glide, like a coolest package built by the League of Extraordinary Packages, which basically allows you to manipulate your image on the fly using the get parameters in your image URL. So if you do something like this, it'll resize your photo and crop it, and it'll save it in your cache folder so that it doesn't regenerate the file each time you serve that URL. So basically, let's see. Which page has an image? Yeah, I believe that the blog template has images. Here it is. This is the glide syntax. It's all explained, by the way, in the documentation here on assets. So if you go to the assets trail guide, you're gonna get like this full instructions on how to use glide tag and how to secure your URL so that someone doesn't mess up with your server by, overloading it by refreshing too many images that are using the glide feature. And basically, what this glide tag does is it uses whatever the intro image is, and it'll add like 100 by 100. It will resize the image to be exactly 100 by 100 pixels, and it'll crop it. And when you go and look at the source for this image, it basically does exactly that. But if you try to save this image, then it has this like weird name, since that's I believe the unique ID of the photo within the system. If you want to use something else here, then you're basically free to use a different tag. That's like the last thing that I want to show you regarding the assets before we close this transmission. So asset drivers, yeah, the drivers, I wanted to mention that as well. Oh dude, yeah, the file name tag. So if you want to set the custom file name, you would go file name and you would set it to, something like, title, whatever. So when you go back here, this will be named as title. So when you go and, run save, it actually rendered my title variable, which is great. Or it did not. Title, yeah, title, not JPEG. Yeah, that's right. I was missing .jpeg. So that's basically it. But if I wanted to render a title here, I'd probably do something like this, and then .jpeg. Let's see if this works, just for the fun of it. Huh, what can you know? It does. Okay, that's it. And a quick note that you can store your assets anywhere in the cloud. So for instance, you can use Amazon S3. You just define like the driver in your container.yaml file, and basically it'll upload all your content to your S3 bucket, so that it gets served from there. I think that one last thing I wanted to demo is the search. So basically, it doesn't work out of the box, but all you have to do, basically, too much usage of the word basically, but is your friend command line utility, PHP please. Let's see what it does. Nope. We want to go back to, oh shit. That was not good. So let's go to, and now, and search update is the one that we're looking for. So if I do PHP please search update, search index updated, which means that when I search for fire, I get fire. And this is one of the two currently available methods for your website search. So let's see. Yeah, that's this. I always forget what's the name of this dude. I was like, I don't know if I was even born when this guy was popular. Is this like Bobby Fischer? No. Yeah, the chess guy. So yeah, the first method that I just demoed out was Zend. And yeah, hey guy, Jay Dingwell. Yeah, it will be available on Twitch, and I will upload it to my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to like view the entire presentation later. No problem with that. And the second one is Algolia, which is, by the way, a paid service. So you get like 14-day free trial, but I think it's not really cheap, though. Hold on. Pricing. It's cheap for 10,000 records and 100,000 operations, like searches, and supposedly it's super fast. So if you have a small website, probably you want to use Algolia. If not, I mean, Zend is totally fine, I believe. All you need to do is set up a cron job so that it runs your search update each time, or you could set up the control panel so that it updates the search cache every time you save anything from within the CP. Like I'm pretty sure that if you change the MD file directly using your Sublime text editor, it wouldn't update search. All right, so I guess that's it for now. Part 2 will be, available soon, where we will cover the remaining features of the Statamic CMS. And I hope that like another hour will do, though there's like a complete area that I haven't even read about creation of add-ons. How do you build add-ons? Building add-ons. So there's a Bible here, I think. So perhaps a third transmission about that, if you guys are interested in seeing that, of course. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me on my Twitter, or if you go to cms-podcast.com. If you try to pronounce this website name, it's really hard. And you can find my email there, or ping me anywhere. And shoot me up with questions. And if I don't know answers, I'm going to ping Jack, and hopefully he'll answer those. That's it for now. Until the next transmission, I salute you. Take care.